Hi everyone. In this video, I'd like to give you an idea of what my book is about. I became curious about the themes of this book first by hearing some women talk about the experience of their ritual prayers. These are the prayers that all Muslims are required to pray 5 times a day. They said that on some days their prayers went well and on others they did not. I was quite mystified. How can ritual prayers go well or badly? Trying to answer this question led me to a broader and deeper study that resulted in the book that you may or may not have in your hands right now. So between 2008 and 2016, I talked to and hung out with a group of middle-class educated women who were born in the 1940s and at the moment live in Tehran. A question I address in my book is, what means do Iranians use to debate and often to counter the version of Islam that the Islamic Republic has tried to define and impose? I suggest that a major resource is the vast body of mystic poetry that has played a crucial role in Iranian cultural history over the past few centuries. Within the public sphere in Iran, as well as in the daily lives of individuals, this poetry is often used as a basis for struggles over the definition of true Islam, Islam Waqei. An important example I use in my book, to which I return throughout the 5 chapters, is Rumi's story of Moses and the shepherd, which is one of his most well-known dialogues. The dialogue allows for staging a series of theological debates about ritual, sincerity, and one's relationship to the divine. Let me briefly tell you the story. Moses overhears a shepherd talking to God and saying, "Where are you, God? I want to stitch shoes for you, give you my goat's milk, and clear the lice out of your hair." When Moses finds out that the shepherd is addressing God in such intimate ways, he scolds him and tells him to realize that God is not his uncle, and he ought to talk to him differently. Upon hearing this, the shepherd becomes despondent and runs away to the desert. God then sends a revelation to Moses. "You have separated me from one of my own. Have you come to unite or to sever their union with me?" Moses understands the truth of this revelation and runs to find the shepherd. He tells him that he was right. He says to him, "Don't search for manners and rules. Say what your longing heart desires." Now, this dialogue has been used by public figures to defend the fact that individuals should be able to find their own journey toward God, and it has been used by major supporters of the regime to defend Moses against God. So this is how mystic poetry continues to exert a presence in public debate in Iran. It is by following the women in my group to their weekly Quran and poetry classes that I became ever more aware of the dynamic between what goes on in the public sphere and their group discussions. I suggest that one of the consequences of the revolution of 1979 is a kind of mass education in theology and the ways and hows of being a Muslim. Mystic poetry and what the women I talk to call dry religion have been in an ongoing exchange for centuries. In order to understand Iran and avoid the black and white view of the period after the revolution, it is essential to understand the companionship of the worlds of prayer and poetry. My central aim in this book is to convey the reflections of the group of women I talked to and learned from. It is likely that the moment of what I call a mass education in theology passes or is already passing, but the understanding that has ensued and the space it has opened up for reflection will play a role in the future of the country. Thank you.